Thanks, Mom
But
and Dad.
I mean, there's like 20 people that watch app. So we are technically live streaming right now.
Great.
Oh,
We
good.
shared the link, so
And we have never been less prepared to do an episode.
but look,
And right now,
great.
this is SNL. This is where we thrive. It's FNL.
it's so true. I am posting it right now, which means our normal people can join.
Hold on, I always want to follow along 15 seconds behind.
Oh gosh.
All right. So we have gone live right as we were all deciding what roles we were going to be playing. So we apologize to all the viewers in their homes who are about to see the aftermath of some serious chaos. So welcome back to Quarren Screenplays. Tonight we have some new faces. I'm Austin, of course. Max, Ryan, and Jordan are something just happened on my and we're back. Max, Ryan, and Jordan are, as always, are here.
Hello.
Today we are reading a script by Glenn Johnson, who's also joining us.
Hello.
There's Glenn, and then for those who have watched the last couple of weeks, the great saga of being unable to get any women to come on our show has finally come to a grinding halt as Mickey Avery is making an appearance. And we always jump up to 6 like right away. There are the same people who tune in right away. That makes me feel nice.
My parents.
My parents.
My tummy got warm when you said that.
Should go get that checked out. That's the first symptom. So I'm very excited. Tonight we're doing Glenn's script from a while ago. I think it's been probably 5 years since
I think
was written.
this last time I touched this was 5 years ago. Yeah.
And he hasn't touched it since because it's perfect. And it didn't need to
I
be
would not
right.
say that was the reason, but
That's the way we like the scripts. Perfect.
So the script we're reading tonight is called Jude Has Bad Luck. It was written by Glenn Johnson his freshman year of college. I remember reading the first draft of it. This, I will say, I want to say this for everybody who gets to watch. This is the 4th draft. This is so I will not give anything away about what I feel the quality of this to be, but a lot of time was put into this by Glenn.
yeah. At least
Glenn,
3 drafts worth.
Can you tell us, can you think back to 5 years ago, what sort of where this idea came from? And sort of what were you thinking when you wrote this in the nicest way possible?
Holy cow.
I think the first, which is very like directly called out in the script, the first thing that made me want to write this was I listened to Superstition by Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
That was I heard that and I knew that I would want to use that in something. And so then I thought about the word superstitious, and then I thought about the words bad luck, and then I just thought about what if someone felt cursed by bad luck. That was basically it. So it was Stevie Wonder was really the inspiration behind all of this.
And Max, were we able to license that song for tonight's broadcast?
Yeah, but only the Kids Bop version.
Roll it.
Could you imagine if we actually got it?
I wish.
The
Yeah.
Kids Bop version, that is.
Exactly.
Figure deal.
It's like when John Krasinski had the whole cast of Hamilton come on and sing a song to that. We just have a bunch of kids come on and sing Superstition.
It's the same thing.
What?
No, it's exactly the same thing. It was better in the flow. Don't worry about it.
So yes, before we jump in, let's go around real quick and say what we will all be doing. I, per usual, will be reading all the scene description. I also make a very brief appearance at the beginning as Ella.
Couldn't get enough women, but it's okay.
We're baby steps, Max. Baby steps.
That's right. I play radio DJ and the strong law enforcement squad.
That sounds insane when you say it like that.
I will be playing all of the wait staff. Here to serve.
I will be playing the girl, which feels appropriate. I think my name is Kate.
She is given a name at some
Yes.
point.
Okay.
I will be playing Micah and the elderly man. 2 different people.
Diane.
2 classic characters, the elderly man and the girl.
Wow.
All encompassing.
I am
Or-
the titular Jude.
But you have no idea how happy that just made me and Max.
Yeah.
So without further ado, Jude Has Bad Luck, written by Glenn Johnson. Interior Chinese restaurant night. A group of 4 friends sit around a table in a dimly lit Chinese restaurant. Jude, mid-20s, downs a cup of tea and places it onto a saucer. I don't love you anymore. Cut to, past. Interior kitchen day. Jude is steeping his tea bag in a mug of steaming water. He turns around.
What?
I don't love you anymore. Jude sets the mug down.
I don't understand what you mean.
He chuckles. She stares. I'm saying that I no longer carry the feeling of love for you. I do not love you. Jude's smile fades.
Here's your check.
Back to present. Interior Chinese restaurant night. Jude snaps out of his memory. He looks up from his empty teacup. The waiter, a Steve Buscemi-looking teenager, places a check down on the table.
We hope your stomachs are orientful.
Jude and his friends just stare. The waiter pulls a handful of fortune cookies from his front pocket and tosses them onto the table.
Have a majestic night.
He bows. Another worker across the room banging a gong when he does and walks away. Jude's friend Micah hands out all the fortune cookies. His friends open their cookies and read off their fortunes. Jude, however, is distracted by the girl a few tables over. She clumsily eats an egg roll with chopsticks. She looks over at him and they stare at each other.
Jude, open yours up.
Jude snaps back to reality after Micah tosses Jude a cookie, hitting him in the face. His friends all laugh. Jude opens the wrapper, taking the cookie out. In slow motion, he cracks open the cookie. There's nothing inside. All of his friends start oohing.
What?
Dude, that means you're going to have bad luck. No fortune, no luck.
I don't believe in bad luck.
Cut to exterior Chinese restaurant night. Continuous wide shot of the outside of the restaurant as the title, Jude Has Bad Luck, appears. Superstition by Stevie Wonder plays. Jude exits the restaurant with his friends. His friends all walk away, but Jude walks to the side of the building and pulls out his cell phone. Credits continue as Jude finishes his call and hangs up. He sits on the curb waiting when the girl walks out of the restaurant behind him. Jude turns around and sees her. They make eye contact for a brief moment. She quickly turns and walks away. Jude watches as she goes. The girl turns around, making eye contact again before turning a quarter. Jude sits silently, waiting for his cab. Cut to interior apartment night. Jude walks inside his apartment and crashes on his couch. Wow, there's a lot of description coming up.
It's like 2 pages of description.
Cut to interior apartment day. Morning. Jude is lying in the same position. He pulls himself out off the couch and walks to the bathroom. Interior bathroom day. Chicka cha cha cha. Chicka cha 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 by Bruno Martino plays. He starts shaving, but I just got an image of Bruno Martino shaving just based on the grammar of that. All right, we're going to interior bathroom day. Chicka Cha 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 by Bruno Martino plays. He starts shaving, but accidentally nicks himself on the cheek. A small drop of blood slides down onto his neck. He wipes it off, leaving a stain on his fingers. He quickly rinses his fingers off and puts a small piece of tissue on the cut. He then walks over to the shower and flips the hot water lever while finishing brushing his teeth. Interior shower day. He picks up his shampoo bottle, which slips out of his hands and drops to the floor. He quickly moves his foot out of the way, avoiding the painful contact. However, when he bends over to pick it up, he loses his balance and falls over, taking the shower curtain with him. Cut to interior bathroom day. He pulls out his toothbrush and Glenn, don't do this. I'm already in a laughing mood. He pulls out his toothbrush and toothpaste, but when he attempts to squeeze the toothpaste bottle, the toothpaste launches onto his shirt. He quietly curses under his breath and wipes it off, but it leaves a small stain. Interior kitchen day. Jude puts a piece of bread down into the toaster and attempts to push down the handle to start toasting. The handle is stuck, however. He pushes it harder, resulting in the handle breaking off. Cut to interior car. This goes on for a long time.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
It really is. Jude slides in, starts the car, and pulls out onto the street. His windows are down, and it's a beautiful day. Wayne Newton's LOVE plays on the radio. He's on an old country road with only a few houses here and there. As he's driving, a plastic bag caught in the wind flies in through the open. Oh, this makes me so happy. Flies in through the open window. He looks down at it, then back at the road. Cut to exterior roadside day. An elderly lady in a bathrobe shuffles out to her mailbox on the same country road. Cut back to interior car. Jude tries to grab the bag. He can't quite reach it, though. Cut back to exterior roadside. The elderly lady pulls mail out of her flower-themed mailbox, flipping through the envelopes. Cut back to interior car. Jude, completely taking his eyes off the road, finally grabs the bag. He lets out a triumphant whoop when he's interrupted by a loud thud. Jude is bumped around in his car. Exterior roadside day. He unbuckles his seatbelt and gets out of the car. He walks to the back of the car and sees the elderly lady on the ground. Jude runs over and puts his finger to check her pulse. It's slow but still beating. When he pulls his hand back, his fingers are stained with her blood. Suddenly, an elderly man appears on his front porch.
Agatha!
Jude, panicked, hops into his car and drives away. You see in the rearview mirror of Jude's car the elderly man running to his wife's side. Jude is hyperventilating. LOVE continues to blare over the radio. Cut to moments later, interior car. Jude, still panicked, pulls into a diner. When he pulls the keys out of the ignition, he notices there's still blood on his fingers. He tries wiping it off on his jeans, but the blood is stuck on. He looks around his car for something to get it off, but he can't find anything. Reluctantly, he sticks his fingers in his mouth and sucks the blood off. He spits out the window after he gets it all off. Cut to interior diner day. Once inside the restaurant, Jude is seated at a small table by a waiter.
Can I interest you in today's special? It's a new one we like to call the hit and run.
Jude slowly looks up at her.
It's a buttermilk pancake in the shape of a little man drizzled with some strawberry syrup and smoked bacon on the side.
Jude continues to stare.
Something wrong, sir?
Jude stares for a few seconds more.
I'll just take a coffee.
Sure thing.
Jude lowers his head into his arms, still breathing heavily. He looks up and sees the girl one table over, sipping a cup of coffee. The girl looks up and notices him. There's an awkward silence for a moment. The waiter comes back with the coffee.
Here you go, sweetie.
Thank you.
She walks away. She walks away, refilling the girl's coffee as she walks by. The girl continues looking at Jude. Jude looks away and sips his coffee. The girl stands up and walks over to him, sitting down in the seat across from him.
Okay, this is weird, but were you the guy from the curb outside of Fortune House last night?
Oh, yeah, that was me.
How do you know about this place?
She motions to the diner.
My dad used to take me here every Sunday for breakfast when I was growing up. What about you?
My grandpa actually owns it.
Really? This is my favorite breakfast place ever. The French toast, eggs and bacon wrap is the best. Yes.
Yes.
Both laugh, pausing for a moment.
My name is Kate, by the way.
Jude.
They shake hands. There's still a bit of blood under Jude's fingernail. Jude quickly pulls his hand away.
Well, I'll leave you alone. I don't want to intrude if this is your personal time.
No, don't worry about it. I haven't eaten yet if you'd like to join me.
She smiles.
Sure, let me go grab my coffee.
She gets up and walks to grab her coffee. Jude starts relaxing now, sipping his coffee more casually. He waves over to the waiter who walks over.
Ready to order something now?
Kate is back at the table now, sitting down. As Jude starts to order, her phone goes off. She checks who it is.
Hey, I gotta grab this real quick.
No worries.
He turns back to the waiter.
I'll have the French toast, eggs, and bacon wrap.
The French roll?
Yes, please.
As Jude finishes his order, Kate starts panicking on the phone.
She what? Okay. No, I'm coming. Just wait.
The waitress walks away. Kate starts putting her coat on and grabbing her purse.
What's wrong?
My grandma was just hit by a car. Someone hit her and just kept on driving. I have to go. She's in the hospital right now.
Jude's eyes grow wide.
What is your grandmother's name?
Agatha, why?
Jude's eyes somehow grow even wider.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, I walked here. I don't have a car.
Jude averts eye contact by staring down at his water.
Jude, is there any way you could get me to the hospital?
Jude pauses.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Thank you so much.
He stands up and walks her out to his car. Exterior parking lot day. When they reach his car, she notices the dent on the front of his car.
Deer are crazy around these parts.
She nods. They get in the car. Interior car day. Jude is silent while Kate cries softly beside him. Jude reaches over and turns on the radio.
The police are still on the lookout for a man who hit 79-year-old Agatha Williams with his car.
Jude quickly reaches back and shuts the radio off. Kate starts crying harder. Exterior hospital day. Jude pulls up to the front of the hospital. Interior car day.
Thank you so much for doing this.
No worries.
He can't look her in the eyes. As she's exiting the car, the elderly man from earlier walks out of the hospital to greet her.
Grandpa!
Everything turns slow motion as elderly man looks over and makes eye contact with Jude.
You!
Kate looks at Jude confused. Elderly man starts fast walking toward his car.
Grandpa, what are you doing?
This is the man who ran over my Agatha.
Jude, what is he talking about?
Police! Police, we have the man!
Two policemen standing in the parking lot run over to Jude's car.
No, please, I didn't mean to.
Step out of the vehicle now.
I didn't mean to.
Jude is crying now. Police officer number 2 forces Jude's door open and pulls him out, slamming him to the ground. Jude struggles.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Police officer number 1 pulls out his taser and unleashes a barrage of electricity through his body. Jude stops moving. Fade to black. Interior police station Dave. Cut from black. Jude is sitting in a small, dingy holding cell. His hair is ruffled, his shirt is missing a few buttons, and the whole right side of his face is bruised and black.
You want some peanuts?
Jude looks up.
No thanks.
Water?
Jude pauses a moment.
Sure.
Jude continues to sit in silence. After a while, police officer number 3 returns.
Here's your water.
Jude grabs the water from in between the bars of his cell. He sips it.
Jude Hoffman, someone posted your bail. You're free to go.
Police officer number 4 walks over to the small cell and lets him out. Exterior police station day. Jude walks outside and sees Kate sitting on a bench. He quickly hides around a corner.
Jude, it's okay.
He slowly inches himself around the corner to face her. She stares straight ahead. Jude walks over and takes a seat next to her.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's stabilized.
Jude lets out a sigh of relief.
I'm so sorry.
I know you didn't mean to hit her.
Jude nods silently.
Why did you post my bail?
I didn't. My grandpa did.
Okay. Why did your grandpa post my bail?
My grandma insisted he did.
There's a pause.
I brought you some Fortune House orange chicken, by the way. I figured you would be hungry.
She holds up a take-home bag to Jude and sets it in his lap. Jude looks down at it and then back to her.
Why are you being so nice to me?
I don't know. I can kind of relate.
You've hit someone with your car?
Kate laughs.
No, not like that. We've all done horrible things in our lives. I've found that loving through the horrible things is better in the end.
Jude is silent.
Well, thanks for the food and the bail.
They both sit in silence, staring straight ahead.
You want to ride home?
That would be great, actually.
She stands and starts walking to her car. He looks down into the bag and notices a fortune cookie. He reluctantly takes it out of its wrapper and in slow motion cracks it open. There's a fortune inside this time. He opens it. You will find love in the most unexpected of ways. Jude slowly looks up from the fortune. He sees Kate getting into her car. He stands up, walking out of the shot. Smash cut to black. Yeah. Glenn, how does it feel?
That was different reading that out loud now, 5 years later. With
so
a
much
group
better,
of people.
right?
That's actually how Jordan and I met.
Is it-
amazing.
Yeah, this is a biopic.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like it. I got to be honest. I think for the most part, it kind of holds up.
There's some heavy-handedness right there at the end.
No, Glenn. I wonder if that is the heavy-handedness that led my dad to comment. Alex Kendrick wants to make this film, and I'm pretty sure he's. I think are those the Facing Giants guys?
Yes.
I only know them as the Kendrick brothers, so he's got me beat there in this.
But it does sound perfect for them. There's a good
is.
lesson. There's some mild racism.
Yep.
What if the
it's-
people at the Chinese restaurant are like white? Does that make it better?
That was my thought.
Oh yeah, it's Steve Buscemi looking teenager,
Yeah.
which is a great description.
Steve Buscemi.
That's great.
I love that description.
I forgot the banging of the gong. Like, I forgot how absurd it is. And what I love about that image is, can you imagine going to a restaurant where every time a waiter, like someone paid the check, they banged a gong?
Yes. There's a guy stationed at the gong. Yeah.
He's on the gong shift.
Yeah.
Position.
Man. So yeah, Glenn, I want to talk a little bit through, like, I think my first question is, does he have bad luck? That's the one thing I don't feel we ever address, is the luck side of things.
Yeah. I would say no. I think it was just an unfortunate turn of events. It does escalate really quick reading through it again.
I would say it escalates really quick and then de-escalates just as fast. I love
from that to like a flirtation scene is pretty intense.
Kate's in for the long haul.
Yeah, she must
really-
be. She
Very
must see
forgiving.
something.
Yeah, I will say though, it sets up actually a great line. Like, I think "thanks for the food and the bail" is actually that's a good line.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's actually very funny. Another little bit I love is the fact that the police are just in the parking lot as if they know
Yes.
the perpetrator is going to come to the hospital.
They always come.
without
They were waiting.
question.
Yeah.
Without question, just force this man to the ground and tase him.
Because
He's
one
not-
old man. Yeah.
Because one old man said,
Oh,
"Get
yeah.
him."
They tased.
They didn't question the sanity of the old man. They
Nope.
trusted-
It's insane. Because
I also love how this must be. There's two things that like I love. This must be a smaller town because the radio DJ mentions old Agatha Williams.
Everyone knows old Agatha.
Old Agatha Williams.
Not old Agatha. A wonderful call out from Anna, your sister, Glenn, who said, I personally loved the amount of police officers in this script.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Clearly we did too.
Yeah.
We have a good time with the fact that in less than a page, there are 4 separate police
Yeah.
officers for no reason
Just
whatsoever.
very
In
unnecessary.
such a small town.
Yeah.
This
And if
is-
I
yeah.
had tried to make it when I was in high school, I would have had to find 4 extras rather than just one police officer. I was making it so much harder on myself.
So looking back on we've all, for the most part, we've all read scripts that we've written on this show. And so we understand your pain a little bit.
Mhm.
I'd like to hear what's something you like about it. What's something that looking back, you're like, 17, 18-year-old Glenn, that was a good idea.
Uh-huh. I mean, I still love the reveal that it's her grandma.
For sure. I agree.
That's probably my favorite part.
I mean,
That's
that
a
the strength
great
of
reveal.
the movie, the basic conceit of it is really smart.
Mhm.
Like, that's just it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I think you probably rushed through it a little much.
Yes.
Well, really, I would say you spend too long at the beginning with 5 pages of almost exclusively scene
A
description.
script writing perspective, that could have been a paragraph that just said a montage of bad things
Yeah.
happening as he gets ready in the
and
morning.
then maybe an in-between thing, like he gets a parking ticket.
Right.
Like,
Yes. Yeah.
Let's work our way up the bad
From
luck.
the toast handle breaking off to
Hit and run.
yeah, hit and run.
Water.
Yes.
I will say this script also contains a moment that I think is awesome, which is let me I want to make sure that I say it right. So here we go. Yeah. Reluctantly, he sticks his finger in his mouth and sucks the blood off. I love how dark that moment is. Like, it's so horrifying.
I'm pretty sure I wrote this also right when I started actually like I think I had just started watching Coen Brothers or something.
Oh, it's a very Coen.
So I was like, oh, that's so Coen Brothers when I wrote that. So
Yeah. So what is there anything you would change about it? Anything at all?
collaborative question?
We've touched on it a little bit, maybe.
I have
Yeah.
a note that I'd like to provide after.
yes. No, well, no. I mean, since I haven't read it in so long straight through, I kind of been trying to wrap my head around it. But I think, I mean, if anything, I would make it a little shorter in parts, and like, I mean, especially, I guess just the script, maybe not the short film in general, but yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
I think a really good idea would be that he doesn't open up a new fortune at the end. He finds the fortune that was missing from the old film. Like it was in the
Yeah,
rack.
that makes sense.
That's my only note.
And it says, "You will kill an old woman." And then his phone buzzed in his pocket and he answers the phone. They were like, "She didn't make it. Agatha's gone." And as Kate gets into her car,
Thinking she's stabilized.
His eyes somehow get even wider than the second time they got wider.
That's a great script note.
Cut to black.
Yeah, that part was really. I love that part.
I do love his eyes somehow get even wider.
Big fan of the.
I like the idea that it is unnaturally wide. Like people watching the movie will be shocked by how wide his eyes get.
Like Steve Buscemi wide.
I also love the simple exchange of deer are crazy around these parts.
He gets ahead of it. Yeah, she's not like, "What is that?" He just goes, "Deer are crazy around that way."
Which, I mean, that's awesome. I love it.
A Midwesterner wrote that line. That's all. That's what I'll say.
Very true.
I can confirm that is true.
Yeah.
I do also like the restaurant having a special called the Hit and Run.
That description.
Which is an extremely bad taste for the restaurant to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
But it also sounds like something that would happen at a restaurant.
Yeah.
A diner, especially.
Yeah.
Which I want to ask a question about uniquely named things. Why does Jude not know he loves this diner? Why does he not know the name of the French roll?
I think yes, I do know. My thought process when I wrote that was, I was like, the audience isn't going to know what a French roll is. So I have to have him say the pieces of French roll. And then the waitress says, "Oh, the French roll."
Two schools of thought. Thought the waitress was slamming him. Like for being like, yeah. It's
yeah. Uh-huh.
Secondly, I thought it was like he's one of those guys, and I think Austin and I talk about this sometimes. I think it's a really funny stand-up bit. Is when you have to say the name of the food of the thing. Austin and I once went to a restaurant and he had to order the Manable Slam Burger, and he had to say it out loud. And so I thought that was a character bit where Jude isn't a guy who says the themed name of things.
Yeah, it was not character driven. It was.
It was assuming your audience is stupid.
Yes.
Although to be fair, I would not know what a French roll is, but I will say that if I were watching a film and somebody ordered a French roll, I wouldn't go, "Well, how am I supposed to know what that is? Why won't they need to explain it? They need to tell me all the ingredients."
Well, yeah, because
how am I going to make this at home?
Every show has to release its ingredients list too.
Exactly.
Well, it's even worse that him and the girl say it together first, and they describe the ingredients, not
Oh, you're right. It does.
They don't say French
it's
roll, which
before he orders it. Yeah.
also you can tell that we didn't really prep well because you guys were not prepared to say that even remotely the same time.
As it was approaching, I was like, this is gonna not go well.
You were taking my line, so I was like, okay, that's
This is the same thing with when we counted down to New Year's. Like, it doesn't work over Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the latency really kills us.
Yeah.
Just like going through the script, some other favorite lines. I love police. We have the man. We have the man is such a great. Also, there's just so many like the amount of times people are crying in this movie.
Yeah,
Like
You weren't afraid to show emotion.
it's very Jude is crying now. Police officer number 1 pulls out his taser and unleashes a barrage of electricity through his body.
Oh, actually, I have an insane note. I noticed that the way it's phrased, I like a lot. Oh yeah. No, it sounds like if you read it, it sounds like the police officer tases himself.
Yeah, there's some grammar things.
Taser and unleashes a barrage of electricity through his body.
He's psyching himself up.
Yeah, one thing I do have a question about that doesn't really pay off is the beginning, him getting broken up with. We don't that doesn't
it's totally unnecessary. Yeah, definitely unnecessary.
Because if it happened after, like if that was maybe part of his bad luck,
definitely.
But him getting dumped at the beginning and then us jumping to the Chinese restaurant, it doesn't feel like there's a real reason for that.
I think the thought was right away, you're like, oh, he's sad, he's alone, and then he sees this random girl.
Glenn, he's eating at the Fortune House. We know he's sad. This is
he is
we
with
don't
4
need any more
friends, so
that's true.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that was the thought, was just to instantly set up that he was sad.
Yeah, I like the friend whose only job is to be very enthusiastic about fortune cookies. Like, open it.
That's what we all do.
Please, I need to know what it is.
the person who like adds the sentence afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like in bed. You'll find love in the most unexpected of ways. In bed. It always works. That's a fun game to play at home, guys.
Yeah, you're looking for things to do if you're bored. Netflix watched everything.
And you have just a box of fortune cookies at home.
That and make a French roll.
You have the recipe for a French roll now. I will say I also noticed this, which I don't know if anyone else noticed this. In that montage, after he's done shaving, it says he then walks over to the shower and flips the hot water lever while finishing brushing his teeth, and then he takes a shower, and then it says he pulls out his toothbrush and toothpaste.
I didn't. I was just looking ahead and laughing at all the reading I was gonna have to do.
To Glenn's credit here, I would say a deep fear I have is dropping shampoo days after purchasing and like popping my toe off. So that felt real to me.
Mm-hmm.
It would probably just like
real fear.
It would probably just break or like pop off. But,
well, I thought about that because actually, yeah, Anna, my sister, dropped a shampoo bottle on her foot one time, and I think it popped a vessel or something, and her foot swole up. So
that would have been a great storyline in this movie.
So that's
all right.
Well, that's yeah.
I think that we need to address maybe the biggest flaw of the movie. Glenn, I love you, but our protagonist hits an old woman with his car and drives away. And we are supposed to completely forgive him for that and like him. He truly does one of the worst possible things you can do.
So do you get bail? Do you get
I don't know how the prison system works at all.
If the protagonist in Hot Dog Justice got bail for murder, I think that
I will say
universe.
Jude's a white guy, right?
Yes.
I can tell you the prison system might be a little more lenient with him than other characters. So I buy that. Yeah. But it is very funny that at the end, everybody's just hunky dory, and he hit an old
grandma's
woman with his
okay,
car
but-
and drove away.
But she forgave him.
Yeah.
though.
He went out of his way to buy Chinese food for.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Not only is she stable, she is alert enough to order her husband to pay bail for the man that hit her with his car.
That's the thing. There, the character of Jude, I will say, yeah, that would be something that somehow, I don't know if it's probably not fixable or worth fixing at this point, but he is not developed enough at all, and there's nothing that sets up why he would run away, why he wouldn't stay and try to help out, or
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even just giving him like a job interview, like
Uh-huh.
like giving him some sort of
'Cause he
narrative
just goes
thrust
to a
that
diner and starts eating breakfast.
after he believes
Yeah.
he believes that he
He
has
killed her.
committed vehicular
Yes.
homicide. He is an absolute
the
sociopath.
taste of her blood is in his mouth. Like, you don't wash that out.
He
It's-
literally drank her blood.
I think it's even weirder though that he doesn't just hit and like literally he gets out of the car to check first,
Check
and
her
then
pulse.
gets back in the car.
This is a movie about a maniac.
yes.
This is a movie about a serial killer's like first kill.
So I will say, I feel like either at some point, it may be in an earlier draft, which I don't know why I got rid of it, because it would have helped explain it more. The old man came out with a shotgun and started opening fire on him.
Glenn, that literally fixes everything.
I know. I don't know why. I don't know why that, but that was in the script at some point.
Oh, that's a great.
There's also the weird note that old man also owns the diner.
Wait, does he?
Yeah, the connection.
I've never even thought about that.
Just that doesn't
that's
come
amazing.
back. He was just at home and his restaurant.
It is.
I love an unnecessary detail like
Yeah,
that doesn't pay
I
off, but
forgot about
you
that.
know, it's in there.
Well, that's why she's there. She couldn't have been there just because she really liked the friend.
Her grandfather had to own it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it would have made sense then if she was like the waitress or something that she worked
yes.
there.
Oh.
But
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
did
that
not
would have made
think
so
that.
much more sense.
There's a lot of great details here that I'm into. So, someone writing this down? Is someone recording this?
It is.
I mean, it's going to be on YouTube.
Who would we cast?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a
Who-
fun
who
part of the
are-
show, Glenn, where you need to cast some of these characters. We do have a
Gosh.
suggestion online, but I'm not gonna mention who it is. I want your unbiased.
I don't know. I've
Thoughts?
honestly never thought about it in terms of anyone notable.
Is Jude Law too old for this part?
Well, it does say mid-20s, so
We're only gonna cast people with the same names as the characters of the movie.
That's
We're
what
gonna dig up Agatha Christie's old bones, roll her to set.
Is that why you named her Agatha, by the way?
I don't know. I don't know if I knew who Agatha Christie was whenever I wrote
It's
this.
it's a great name.
Yeah.
But the grandpa doesn't get a name. Nope. And
I
it's
might as
he
well
never
have just-
will.
I might as well have just named him. No one ever says his name, so it doesn't matter. It could
You
have
might
been
as well have named him
anything.
because he also has enough lines that like he's a more fleshed out character.
Definitely.
Actually, this is the legitimate
arc.
question. We were discussing this. How do you do it like with Kate going from the girl to Kate? I've never had that issue with Murray. Could you have like called her Kate at the beginning
Yeah.
and then
'Cause
not, I don't know how what the formatting is.
I think
kind of
so.
like it though.
Yeah.
I will say that when I write, I don't know if this is correct, but even before we know who a character is, I just put their name.
Okay, that's what I've done in the past, but there is an intrigue component.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For
I'd
sure.
like to.
And I mean, there's no. Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
I was just gonna say, kind of going back to the casting. I was just thinking, I would like all of the officers to be played by Terry Crews, just cloned.
That doesn't feel like your first Terry Crews casting job. Am I making that up?
No, that's the first one.
Okay. I mean, he's great.
So you need someone. Jude's pretty young, like mid-20s.
Yeah.
That's what it says. So you need someone who is very, very likable. obviously, to pull this off. So if we're just gonna go for like super, like I'm picturing like Tom Holland.
Oh,
I was thinking that too.
Lucas Hedges.
Lucas Hedges is way too intense for this movie.
Holy cow! He doesn't get anything.
Jeremy Irons.
He's
I was
the
gonna
old
say,
man.
The only other like young or mid-20s actor I can think of is Timothy Chalamet, but I feel like Tom Holland is better.
Tom Holland's got sort of that likable,
Yeah.
sort of manic energy that could
Yeah.
that
He
could
would
go
hit
well
and
with
run.
this.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
sell that scene of
He would
him.
hit and run.
He has, you know it. My dad, I don't know why, but my dad said, so due to the taser scene, is Jude meant to be played by Zach Galifianakis? I don't know if my dad just wants to see Zach Galifianakis get tasered.
This is like a
Exactly. So, man, oh man. All right, Glenn, do you have any last thoughts? Do you feel any pull to give this another go? I mean, we've given you a lot of suggestions tonight.
Maybe. I mean,
I think the core idea is fun. I think
There's-
some things need to be
yeah.
reworked a little bit, but
Yeah.
I mean, there is something there. I do want to
Yeah.
leave you with that encouragement. As much as we play on this show and we mock and we jest, we goof, exactly. This one actually is, I would say, better than quite a few of the scripts we've read so far.
Well, no, it's been fun. I think this is the most people that, clearly this is the most people that have ever read it. So
I will say
it's nice to.
we had the most people watching live tonight that we ever have had.
I think my family's watching. So
Yep,
that's probably why.
we reached 9.
I
Oh,
know.
This is- we're doing it. It's happening.
We're stretching for
More-
double
there's more
digits.
people watching than reading.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
true.
yeah.
Very exciting. So Glenn, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. is really
And thank you guys for watching. Believe it or not, we're gonna do it again. One week from today. So stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you later.